Where are the tears? I'm sharing this under personal conviction. It's as much to me as to you. Here's the question. Have we lost our tears? That impacts me personally as I look at my spiritual life and what concerns me most. One of my favorite Old Testament books is Nehemiah. There is so much in the story of that cupbearer to the king who became God's leader for his day. So when my longtime friend, Dr. O.S. Hawkins, wrote the Nehemiah Code, It's Never Too Late for a New Beginning, I wanted to see what might be in there for me. You remember Nehemiah's story. The Israelites had been exiled, only a remnant remained in Jerusalem, and the enemy took advantage of that, tearing down the walls of the city of David, making the people more vulnerable to attacks. Though Nehemiah was in exile, his heart was with the people in Jerusalem. He sought out people who could tell him what was happening there, and what he learned impacted him greatly. Here's what he said. When I heard this, I sat down and wept. In fact, for days I mourned, fasted, and prayed to the God of heaven. That's from Nehemiah 1, verse 4. Nehemiah did several things upon learning of the situation in Jerusalem. He made an honest evaluation of the situation. He identified with the needs of the people. He mourned, fasted, and prayed. And he did one more thing. Nehemiah wept. I grew up in an era when churches would, on occasion, have all-night prayer meetings. They were marked by passionate prayer and tears. More recent outbreaks of God's Spirit have been characterized by fervent prayer, confession of sin, and weeping. So I ask myself as I ask you, where are the tears today? Where's the passion for the will of the Lord in our world, our culture, our lives, our family, ourselves? Where is it? Most of us want to be seen as strong leaders. We want to look to others and have them look to us to draw insight and wisdom. We want to be seen as a powerful person in the Lord's army. Weeping seems weak. And as a leader, we certainly don't want to be weak. What did the Apostle Paul say to the Corinthians? If I must boast, I would rather boast about the things that show how weak I am. Read that in 2 Corinthians 11:30. Dr. Hawkins, in his book, says that Nehemiah recognized his inability to do anything on his own. Yet he was so overwhelmed by the need, he must do something. In the Nehemiah Code, Hawkins says, the more I have studied the process of rebuilding, the more convinced I have become that one never rebuilds unless he personally identifies with the need and weeps over the ruins. We live in a culture that seems to have lost its tears. Nehemiah did what all godly leaders must do. He drew strength from outside himself, from his Lord. Godly tears equal passion. And without passion for the things you see around you, you most likely will never see your goal accomplished. As I understand it, the objective is not tears. The objective is such a deep passion for the Lord, His will and His ways, that we immerse ourselves completely in accomplishing the Lord's plan in His strength, even to the point of tears. I find myself pondering and pray. If you'd like to know more about our global ministry, check out our website, mediaalliance.net. And be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. Thanks so much. God's best.